Hi there, it is Tuesday, April 7th, Tuesday of Holy Week, and I wanted to share some information with you. First of all, I hope that you have already noticed and received the email that went out yesterday via Flock Note. That email contains the entire week's schedule for this week with dates and times for live stream prayer opportunities and for any outdoor services that we'll be having this week. So I hope you've paid attention to that and do consult that. That is your schedule for this week. Today, Tuesday, is normally the Chrism Mass down at the cathedral with the Archbishop, where all the priests gather for a day of prayer, a day of fraternity, and to participate in that Chrism Mass, whereby the oils used in the sacraments are consecrated and blessed. And in the course of that same Mass, the priests renew their priestly promises. Because of the situation we're in this year, just like you, the priests are staying home this year. The Chrism Mass is not a public event for us. And so we'll be watching by live stream. I encourage you to do the same. Because of that, I don't want to compete with the Archbishop and the Chrism Mass today from the cathedral, so I've made it a specific decision not to do any live streaming today from St. Monica. Rather, this evening I invite you to go to Archdiocese on YouTube and to find the live stream of the Chrism Mass from there, and to participate in that today. I ask you in a particular way, as we celebrate priesthood typically on this day in our Archdiocese, that you pray for me, that you pray for Father Bali, that you pray for Father Mejia, and for all priests, that we may have strength and grace in our commitment to the priesthood and in our shepherding of God's people, and in a particular way in the unique stresses and difficulties that mark trying to be a shepherd in these days, in this time frame. Looking ahead to the week, we will continue our plan for outdoor services for Holy Thursday at 7 p.m. in the evening, for Good Friday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and for Holy Saturday, the Easter Vigil at 7:30 p.m. Those services are going to be our focus for the rest of the week. And because of all the effort that's put in, especially to the Easter Vigil, I've made a very specific decision that I'm not going to do an outdoor service for Easter Sunday or have a live stream separate service for Easter Sunday. Easter Vigil and Holy Saturday night is really the most significant Mass of the entire liturgical year in the Church's faith and practice of it. And so what I'm going to do this year under these circumstances, because so much effort, work is required of me and of our volunteers to set up, to make the outdoor Masses happen, and to take down afterwards, rather than do another one Sunday morning, I'm just going to encourage you, if you didn't already participate in the Easter Vigil or watch it by live stream, just go ahead and watch that on Sunday itself, and just know that that's how we'll give our focus this year to the Easter Vigil, and the live stream is available as a video if you desire to watch that on Easter Sunday. You can also, of course, Easter Sunday, tune in via Archdiocese on YouTube to the Archbishop's Easter Sunday Mass that will be live streamed from the cathedral. So those opportunities are there for you. St. Damian's will be having an outdoor Mass here on Easter Sunday morning, and that's certainly available to anyone, but I will not be doing a separate one for our parish. We'll just focus on the Easter Vigil this year. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to make a video today is to give some teaching, some catechesis, and some focus on what are called sacramentals, a part of our faith and its practice. First of all, we know that the sacraments, those 7 signs, divine gifts from God himself, Christ Jesus, God in the flesh, the sacraments are instituted by Christ, and they're instituted to become the vehicle or the instrument by which Christ gives his sanctifying grace as God. That transforms us, instills in us faith, hope, and charity, and makes us more in likeness to God in whose image we've been made when we receive those sacraments worthily and seek to be changed by them. But in addition to the sacraments, there are things we call sacramentals. Sacramentals are those things instituted by Holy Mother Church. So the sacraments are instituted by God, by Christ himself. The sacramentals are instituted by Holy Mother Church, and they are related to the sacraments. They in some ways resemble the sacraments. They are meant to kind of proceed from the sacraments to give us ongoing ways by which we live the life of grace that comes from the sacraments. And sacramentals are also really intended to inspire us to make a return to ongoing and deeper living of the sacraments that come from Christ. So sacramentals are meant to be sources of blessing for us. They're meant to be sources of inspiration, for strength, and for protection in going forward and living our life of faith in our relationship with Christ Jesus. The sacramentals resemble the sacraments in some way. They come from the sacraments and then should lead back to them. In other words, we shouldn't focus only on sacramentals, right? What do we mean by the sacramentals resemble the sacraments? Well, think of it this way by analogy. Perhaps before you have a really big, nice meal, you might sit down for a period of time to have some hors d'oeuvres, something to start with, something to kind of whet the appetite. Those hors d'oeuvres are certainly not the main meal, right? But they resemble the meal in that they're food, huh? Or likewise, at the end of a meal, you might have perhaps an after-dinner drink or some sort of dessert to sort of kind of linger with this celebration, to linger with this time of feeding. The dessert isn't the main meal, though, right? It resembles it, though, huh? The sacramentals, by analogy, are like that. They use similar things that the sacraments use, things like water or bread or oil or salt. They even make use of things like the religious habit of a religious priest or sister that is a sacramental. They make use of things like exorcism as a type of sacramental by which the power of Christ to expel evil and demons is invoked. The sacramentals resemble the things we make use of in sacraments, but they are not themselves the sacraments instituted by Christ. Rather, sacramentals are instituted by the Church to help us live our faith more deeply, to give us ongoing strength for the life of faith, and to call us back to deeper union and life with Christ through the gifts of the sacraments he's given. Now, I'm speaking to you about this today, and if you want to read more, I invite you to go to the Catechism, beginning at paragraph 1667, to read about sacramentals. And I've decided to treat sacramentals today because in the back of church in our narthex, we have 2 tables set up for your use. One table is for you to bring items that you would like to have blessed, such that they become sacramentals. Make sure you mark your name and telephone number clearly on those items. Once those items have been blessed, then they're moved to a second table where they are ready to be picked up by you, the owner. So I want to make that clear to you all. One table, when you arrive at church, has items, and it's clearly marked as items to be blessed. Artículos para ser bendecidos. That is where you leave the items that you have brought so that they can be blessed. And usually at the end of the day, when I lock up the church, I will bless those items and move them to the second table for you to come and pick up. So that second table is also clearly marked as items to be picked up, already blessed, artículos para ser recogidos, ya están bendecidos. So folks, be aware that these tables are there for you to bring items. People are bringing gallons of purified water, maybe other receptacles they've cleaned and put fresh water in. They're bringing salt, they're bringing olive oil, they're bringing rosaries, they're bringing images of Christ, of Mary, of the other saints. They're bringing scapulars, all asking them to be blessed so that they become sacramentals and sources of strength and blessing for you as a way you can continue to live and guard your faith in these days, especially at home. Now, folks, understand, though, that these items this is not a freebie table, right? These items belong to certain persons, and that's why you need to mark your name clearly with a telephone number, and they should be picked up by those persons. They're not a freebie table where anyone just comes and takes whatever's on the table, okay? Be aware of that. You're certainly welcome to bring things, but please only take the items you bring. We do have a limited number of small holy water bottles that are free and available for pickup if you would like to take those. But otherwise, please bring your own items. We'll be happy to bless them, to make them sacramentals, and to have a source of strength, inspiration, protection, and blessing for you in these days. God bless you all.